सर्वधर्मस्थापकस्त्वं सर्वधर्मस्वरूपकः आचार्याणां महाचार्यो रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। नारायणसमारम्भं नादयमुनाचार्यपर्यन्तम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। Namaste, Vanakkam. Today the auspicious birthday of two great acharyas. One is Shankaracharya and another is Ramanujacharya. Of course, yesterday some of the pockets of Tamil Nadu, they have celebrated Ramanujacharya Jayanti. But according to Tithi, so we are celebrating today here. So some of the silent incidents and anecdotes in the Ramanujacharya life we will try to discuss here. So before starting who is Ramanujacharya and dwelling into some of the life incidents of his life, who are these acharyas? Because we come across in our spiritual history, there are many spiritual acharyas: Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Vallabhacharya, Nimbarkacharya. Of course, we don't celebrate Madhvacharya and Nimbarkacharya, but other part of the country they celebrate these acharyas' birthdays too. So these acharyas, say for example, Shankaracharya in Sadhana Panchagami says, Bhavasuke doshanu sandhiyatam. The Bhavasukha, the Samsara Sukha, when you look at the difficulties in the Samsara Sukha, there are plenty of difficulties we come across. It is like an aghada. Aghada means in Sanskrit, very deeply rooted well actually. So, when you are in the deep rooted well, a lot of depth is involved in that, we cannot come out. And these acharyas are, ropes hanging from the top. So, we samsaris, to hold that rope, these ropes will be helpful to us. To holding on to the ropes, we will be able to come out from that deep well. So, these acharyas are, for us to come out from the samsara, they help. And this Ramanujacharya ji is we all know that is a chief a proponent of Visishta Advaita. And why these acharyas has to come time to time? When we look at the different situations in the society, so as Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, wherever there is a dharma glani, tavatara come. In the same way, this acharya also will come. So during this Ramanujacharya's time, lot of atrocities between Shaivas and Vaishnavas, and lot of untouchability, asprusyata. And also, the women were not allowed to scale up in the path of spirituality. These were the things. So then there is a need of an acharya to come to this earth and, set right the things. So we can say this, these acharyas, we can say these people, they descend. Avatarana means they come down in order to set right the things that are prevailing in the society. So they say that, Ramanujacharya is Adishesha Avatara. So Adishesha means Rama Anuja. Actually Lakshmana Swami, Lakshmana, Rama's brother, is called Adishesha. And that is why this name has been given to Ramanujacharya. Rama Anuja, the brother of Rama, is Ramanujacharya. And when Adishesha, when he looked at the atrocities that are happening in this Bhuloka, so he said to the Lord Vishnu, saying that, see, I have to go to Bhuloka to set right the things. Then the Lord Vishnu said, it seems, no, it is not that the 1 day and 2 days affairs that you should do. Minimum 200 years you have to stay there and to make the things right. Then Adishesha agreed to that. And now when you go to Bhuloka, you cannot act as a Adishesha. So exactly you have to act as a human being only. Sometimes when I read this kind of literatures, life histories, they actually depict Hollywood or Tollywood movies actually. So not knowing that why we go to the movie theater, we don't know. In these lives itself, there are so many things are involved. There is a villain, there is a family life, There are so many things, everything is involved. There is a villain, there is a hero, there is a heroine, everything is involved. But not knowing that, we just go to watch the movies. Exactly, when you look at all the Acharya's life, not only Acharya's life, even Avatara's life also, when you look at it, it's a beautiful cinema. But not knowing that, we go to cinema theaters to enjoy the cinema. But once you understand and read these philosophies and the life and teachings of these great Acharyas, we will get the benefit rather going to the movie theaters. So this Acharya's life is, something is a very beautiful movie. And don't think that it is a movie, but it tells us a lot of information. It gives us a lot of insights. And these Acharyas don't think that everything is a catwalk for them. They have to face a lot of difficulties, so many difficulties. Even Avatara's life also, like it be Sri Ramakrishna's life or Swami or Sri Rama's life or Krishna's life. There are so many difficulties. They need to face so many ordeals, and because they face the difficulties, because of the Anusthana Bala. Even in our life also, there are so many difficulties. So life is not a bed of roses, say. But who can withstand, who can absorb those shocks, the one who has got the Anusthana Bhala. Anusthana means, the spiritual practices. Who does the spiritual practices, they only will be able to absorb the shocks that we come across in the life. So, this Ramanujacharya work is to eradicate the untouchability and also, giving a dictum that ladies also is eligible for the spiritual life. That is what is main motto. And the people say that the Shankaracharya came, he started Advaita Marga. So all the Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. So all these Mahavakyas, to practice in the individual life is so tough. So people are going astray. That is the reason, someone should come to teach the middle path. People talk in a different ways, but because of these acharyas, they come time to time. That is the reason you cannot simply push away another acharya saying that in order to find the faults in the other acharyas, and these acharyas have come up. But somehow I don't like to say that, because that particular time the Shankaracharya has to come. And Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, the coins that are used in king's time, even 1 anna, 1 rupee, even 1 rupee also is not, we are not seeing 1 rupee, 5 rupees coins also. The coins that are used in the king's time, now you cannot use those coins. In the same way, the acharyas, when they come time to time, certain things, people are changed. Now we talk about the generations. Generation gap is only 5 years. Probably, if you look at the LKG kid, is much more knowledgeable than us. The generation gap is now only 5 years. So in these 5 years, only the teachings that we supposed to impart to the people, entirely different. If you ask them to say, do this, do that and all, they will not do at all. So that is the reason the acharyas, they come time to time in order to sedate the things, not that repute some other acharyas. And this Ramanujacharya is born to the couples of Kantimati and Keshava Somayaji. And they wanted a male child. They prayed actually. Swami Vivekananda says, a child should be born out of the prayers. He only belongs to the Aryan race. Rest, they are the curse to the society, he says. So here, they prayed. Where they prayed, the triple cane in the Parthasarathi temple. They prayed. Because when you look at the Ramanujacharya life, even the most of the life incidents, there till now, we can see everywhere there are so many things. But when we go to the temple, we don't see that, what are all the places related to Ramanuja. We just rush to the temple and just come away, that's all. We don't understand the pattern where the Ramanuja lived, what exactly the Sthala Purana, what exactly the Sthala Mahatmya and all. Because we don't have a Bhava Anjana probably, that is the reason, we only see the commercial aspect of the temple, and also not only commercial aspect of the temple, we also commercial aspect of the deity also we see and come. Because why I am using this word commercial aspect of the deity, this deity is powerful, somebody says, because I went to that temple, I got some lottery. So we also see the commercial aspect of the deity and go and come away, that's all. But there is a beautiful Sthala Purana is involved there. And the great acharyas have lived there and prayed there and did so many things, but we don't understand. Here, the Parthasarathi temple, this Kantimati and Somayaji, they did the vratam, 40 days. And after doing the 40 days of the vratam, then Vaishakha Panchami day, this great Acharya Ramanuja, when the Ramanuja as a descendant, the whole entire the Akashvani says, Dhir Labdaha, Dhir Labdaha, Dhir Labdaha. We got a Dhi person. Dhi means Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. We say, Kachit Dhiraha Pratyagatmana Maikshita Avrutta Chakshu Amrtatvam we talk about. There's one Dhira. There are one or two only available in the society, These Dhiras, in order to understand the Pratyagatma, which is inside. So, Avrta Chakshu Amrtatvam they inward all the Indriyas in order to see the Pratyagatman. So, Akashvani said, it seems, Dhir Labdaha, we got a right person. So, now all our problems are solved. The one person has come to support us. One person has come to remove the untouchability. One person has come to remove all the obstacles that are there in the path of the spirituality. This is what the science. So any incarnation comes to this earth also, the science also definitely, the different science will be there. All the grahas also perfectly, they will be, harmony with all the other grahas also. Even Sri Ramakrishna is born and Swami Vivekananda born also. The grahas also, everything is so perfect, then only the beautiful, the avataras of the acharyas, they come down. So then, looking at this, the baby, his uncle, mother's brother came, it seems, his name is Tirumala Nambi. Looking at the body, looking at the baby and the signs, the effulgence that is radiating from him, he said to his sister, so sister, your son is something, I am seeing that your son is not an ordinary son. Something is going to rule the country, not the king. He is going to rule the spiritual administration. That is how he is the king. When Swami Vivekananda was in Kerala, he went to a house, I don't remember exactly. Then he was just asking, is it the house of so-and-so? Then his son came down. He is supposed to meet a particular person, and his son came down. Who are you? I came to see your father. Then immediately the moment he looked at the Swami Vivekananda, he said, there is a Chakravarti, the king has come. Then immediately went and reported to his father saying that, oh daddy, a king has come to see you. Then his father said, the king summa varamattaru, varambodu some news, then there are so many other things also will be there. How the king simply comes and stands in front of my house? No, he is not a king. No, daddy, you must come and see the face, the light that is radiating, emanating from him, the self-effulgent light, and the Mukha Varchas also is such a different person. He is a Chakravarti only, no doubt. Then father said, no, he is not a Chakravarti. Chakravarti is Chumma Varamattar sonna. Then you come and see. Then the father comes down and sees Swami Vivekananda, says, son, you are right. He is a Chakravarti, Atma Samrajya Chakravarti. He is the king of self-liberation. So that is how this Tirumala Nambi said, oh sister, your son is not an ordinary son. He is Atma Samrajya Chakravarti. He is going to set the things that are happening in the society. Then, so that time actually I was talking, there is a king called, Kulotinga king, a hardcore Shiva Bhakta. Very hardcore Shiva Bhakta. If he come across any Vishnu Bhakta, means immediately then and then just cut his head, that's all. So that was the biggest problem, anybody, they cannot say that, we are the Vishnu Bhaktas. This Kulotinga king is so hardcore Shaiva saint, Shaiva Bhakta. So he used to kill all the Vaishnava Bhaktas. So that also is one problem there during that time. Then the Ramanuja's father performed Upanayana. And looking at the incredible intellect, these acharyas, like ordinary acharyas, they have come for a different purpose. Since from their childhood, they exhibit an extraordinary qualities, in the Sanskrit, in the scriptures, everything so thorough and perfect in Shastras. Then every father feels that, if someone is reading so much scriptures, and someone is always talking about the God and all the parents are afraid. So thinking that, they will become monks. So all our fathers, mothers also, they have faced the same thing only. And then thinking that immediately what they do, so some way they will find a bridegroom and they do the marriage function, that's all. But after his marriage, his father passed away. And at the age of 16, you need to maintain the family. Those days, not that it's information technology yuga. In those days, running the family with a minimum income is so tough. But he could manage. But there is a thirst in him that, so once you are into the spiritual path, you need to have a guru. And the thirst inside says that, I need to find a guru, I need to find a guru. And he was looking for a guru. Somebody said, there is a place, in that place, there is a person called, Yadava Prakasha. So that, he stays near the temple called Vijaya Raghava Perumal. There only Rama killed Jatayu. Even now it is there, it seems. So he just went to Yadava Prakasha saying that, so you must accept me as your disciple. So Yadava Prakasha accepted. But after seeing his brilliance and understanding about the scriptures, some kind of jealousy, this Yadava Prakasha developed. Because that started from the Chandogya Upanishad, something he was explaining, saying that so Vishnu's eyes are like the Prushthabhaga of the monkey. Then somehow he did not like it. See, you cannot compare the eyes of the Vishnu Bhagavan and comparing with the animal, he did not like. So Ramanuja literally was crying, what is his understanding? I could not understand. How can he compare the eyes of the Vishnu, the Prushthabhaga, rare portion of the monkey? Then, he is crying, then why you are crying? Then he said, the way you explained the lotus eye of the Vishnu, comparing with the Prushthabhaga of the monkey, I did not like. Then what it is? You just explain. He said, Kapi Asya, eat differently, Why can't you explain the stem that accumulates, that takes the sun, and above that there is a flower, lotus flower. So the Vishnu Bhagavan's eyes are like a blooming lotus eyes. That comparison seems to be very good. So nobody wants to compare in our chosen deity eyes with the animal. No, who likes it? He also did not like. Then, that put him in anger, So Sri Ramakrishna often says, these panditas, like, soaring on a high, somewhere in the sky, vultures. So Sri Ramakrishna used to compare these people, like a vultures. But they explain so much about the Shastras. And like a vulture, vulture is flying in a thousands of kilometers height. But these eyes always fell on the ground. Any corpse or dead bodies are available, so that immediately we scoop into that and we eat. In the same way, they don't understand. Vivek Chodamani says, there is a beautiful shloka about this Pandits. Says that, so, Vag Vegakari Shabdajari Shastra Vakyavani Kaushalam Muktaye Natu Muktaye. So you may explain the beautiful shlokas with so much synonyms, using different flowery words and all. But you only get the mukti, not mukti, he says. These people are also like that. That is why when anything we start, between the relation between the guru and disciple, we do the prayer Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu. So may our reading thorough, may we not hate each other, may we nourish us both, may we both, in the pursuit of the knowledge. So we should not hate each other. All the things are there, but even then, they don't accept the mistake. These Pandits are like this. But, since the explanation was so beautiful and everybody accepted, that put him into the great dangers that, anyway, he is going to become a great guru and my reputation will go away. So what I have to do? I have to kill him. See, to that much extent, these people, they talk about the Brahmasmi, Isha, Vashamidam, Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat. So, Sarvavyapi Vishnu, all those things they talk, but they are ready to kill a human being. Then somehow they wanted to plan, because there are few more incidents that put him into the anger. So that another incident is that Kanchipuram king's daughter possessed by the ghost. Then, they came to know that about the Yadava Prakasha, he knows so many mantras and he has studied so many shastras. We will take our daughter to the Yadava Prakasha so that if he chants some mantras, the ghost may go away. With that idea, so they brought the girl to the Yadava Prakasha's house. But somehow he tried his level best. But the ghost said, so you are incapable of evict me. Get lost from here. Then if your disciple Ramanuja could place his foot at the princess, probably I may go away. Then after hearing this, Hare Baba, he after all is my disciple, and so I cannot do this. Then immediately, because king ordered, so Ramanuja put his leg on the princess' head. Immediately ghost went away. And everybody praised him a lot. Oh my God, Guru could not do, disciple can achieve this. That put him in a much anger. Then he thought, it will not work out. So I have to do something, otherwise my name will go away, my fame will go away. That is the reason what I have to do, I have to do something. Then what he did, he developed such enmity and decided to kill. If the Yadav Prakasha kills in the city itself, many people will come to know, because just now only he has done a good favor to the king. King comes to know that Yadav Prakasha killed Ramanuja, then for him is a life threat. That is the reason we will go to the Varanasi for a dip in the Ganges, so that the Ganga Snana is always, people prefer. Then somehow we do something there. With that plan, all the disciples along with the Guru Yadav Prakasha, they went to Kashi. So then is Ramanujacharya's niece also, and one brother, cousin also, Govinda also was there. Govinda came to know about this plan, that one night when they were sleeping, they wanted to tie him up and put it in the Ganges. Then he said, brother, so this is what the plan. I request you just go away, go back, otherwise they will kill you. Then Ramanuja thought, no, they don't do any harm to me. No, I have heard this. You must go back. Then he is, okay, better, let me go away. Then he started walking through wild forest. He doesn't know how to go at all. Then somewhere he was stuck up. Suddenly he found a tribal couple appeared before him and said that, where are you going? I wanted to go to Kanchipuram. Can you show me the way? Yes, please come. We will show the way. No, because it is night. Tomorrow we'll start walking. You stay with us. So they stayed with them. And the lady says, because anyway it is night, so you used to be a Pandit. Why can't you talk some stories about the Lakshmana? They know that he is the Lakshmana's Amsha. They said, why can't you say a few stories about the Lakshmana? And the Ramanuja joyfully was explaining. And after some time, he fell asleep. Then in between, there was a talk between these couples, So the lady was telling to man, I'm feeling so thirsty, why can't you get a water? Then he said, yeah, let me go and get water. So let me go and get water. Then, but he said, it is a late night, tomorrow I will get, just sleep, something like that. Then Ramanuja heard that, these people, so much thirsty, this lady, let me go and get the water. By then, he went to get the water, these couples disappeared. Then he was searching for them, where are these couples? Nowhere. Then to his surprise, he could see that there is a village there. Then one person was coming, I have to like, what is that village? I supposed to go to the Kanchipuram. What is that village name? Hare, don't you know, it is the Kanchipuram itself. You look at the Gopuram, that is Varada Perumal Swami temple. Oh my God, then he understood, they are none other than, the god and goddesses. This is how these incidents, instill the faith in us actually. So much faith, if you have a faith on God, definitely there are some ways to get a lot of incidents that show us, really God exists, that feeling comes. Then he could see the temple and Vardapur. Then what happened? Because he tried to bring some water for these couples. Since then, so he brings the water, he decided to do the Abhishekam every day. Even now it stands there, it seems. Abhishekam, Sivilumeedu, there is a place. From there only he used to get the water, do the Abhishekam to the Varada Perumal. Even now that place is there. So then this man continues to serve. Then Yadav Prakasha thought that, so probably he has gone back. So some wild animal would have devoured him. So now totally have get rid of, so no more problem for me, because I can happily, again conquer entire the world. So nobody is there to defeat me. With that idea, he came to Kanchipuram. Suddenly he could see that, this Ramanuja, oh my God, how he has come back, how he has escaped from the wild animals. Then again, he became a disciple of Yadav Prakasha. See the Sahanam, you see, though Guru is tried his level best to kill the Ramanuja, but Ramanuja did not keep any enmity in him. Then yes, said Guru Varya, because I have returned, so again you just teach me whatever you wanted to teach. Then Ramanuja was going to learn all the Shastras, but by then the Yadav Prakasha realized that. Again Yadav Prakasha joined Ramanuja as a disciple. That is what. The Sahanam Sarvadukkanam Apratikara Purvakam, that some patience is required. He did not utter a single word against his Guru. Here, one beauty is, Ramanuja's life, there are three Purnas will come. Kanchi Purnam, Mahapurna, there is one more Purna. We should not confuse. There are the, so during his lifetime, these people, they help a lot. Then the Kanchipuram, because he is longing for the God realization, though he has studied the Shastras. Now Shastras only they say, it is only pointing fingers. But by reading the Shastras, unless and you get the experience, you won't realize God. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says, the Panchanga says, next month you get this much rain. Even if you twist the Panchanga, you will not get a drop of water. And the same way, the Shastras only will say the pointers, that's all. But you have to practice it. But though he has read the Shastras, his longing for the God realization is intense. That is what Sri Ramakrishna calls it, Vyakulata. And he is still in search of a Guru, a proper Guru who will show him the God. Then somebody said, there is a Kanchi Purna. Then he went to the Kanchi Purna, and his Kanchi Purna not belong to the Brahmin caste, he is a Vaishya. Then the Kanchi Purna said, you belong to a Brahmin, but the Brahmin and the Vaishya, all these things, the caste system is totally disappeared now. It is not that where you born, in which caste you have born. If you have the qualities of the Brahmin, you are a Brahmin only. But the Kanchi Purna said, I am a Vaishya, but how can I be Guru? He said, no, you have to accept me as your disciple. Somehow Kanchi Purna accepted. But this lady to whom he married, she is a Pakka Orthodox. And now we accepted a Vaishnava as a Guru. And this lady, said, my husband is completely gone astray. He is not following any caste system at all. Simply now we accepted a Vaishya as a Guru. Now what is going to happen? Then she got terribly angry. And 10 continuous years he served the Kanchi Purna. See, the idea behind these stories are that 10 years or 20 years doesn't matter. So the Guru Sushrusha, because one day Guru likes me, Guru's grace, somehow he will show me the God. That is what is the understanding here. 10 continuous years he served and said, sir, you just show me, I wanted to see the Varadaraja. When can I see? I heard that you see the Varadaraja Perumal. Why can't I see? Then Kanchi Purna said, see, I cannot show you. I am also an Andha. Andha means the blind man. A blind man cannot show the way to another blind man. Andhe naiva niyamana, the Upanishad talks about. But he said, though out of humility he was telling, he went to Varada Perumal temple and returned. Said, Varada Perumal told me that, soon you are going to see the God. So somehow that assurance, so somebody gives assurance. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So then also, whoever think about me, so then Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. All these things Sri Ramakrishna also said, whoever takes the God's name sincerely, for them it is the last birth. These abhayas, they console a lot, because the devotees, what we do, we don't know whether our path is right, we are going in a right direction or not, we don't know whether, the way it is correct or not. There is a story also. Guru has given a lantern, a light. So this light will help you to realize God. Then the realization of the God will be possible probably, say for example, the 50 kilometers I supposed to travel. Guru gives me a lantern saying that, this lantern you take and you can just walk off. That this lantern will show only 3 feet only, but my destination is 50 feet. Then his disciple said, "Sir, I am supposed to go to 50 kilometers and this lantern is showing only 3 feet. How can I use this lantern? A pointing finger to God realization. First you walk 3 feet, then automatically another 3 feet you will show. Then slowly you will reach." So that is what is understanding, that is what is a faith. So then he says, Kanchipurna says, so God has given assurance that, you will realize, that's all. That assurance has instilled him tremendous confidence and all. Then now we come back to some other portion. There is a Nammalvar. So Nammalvar has written Narayana Divya Prabandham. So out of 12 Alvars, is the very, one of the important Alvars they call it. So after his passing away, he gave an ideal, one murti he gave, and to his followers or to his disciples he said, you keep this murti. After 400 years, what happens, Dharma Glani comes to the Vaishnavism and people will not follow the Vaishnava religion, and there are so many loops and falls will be there. And exactly like this image, there is a person there, he will come and set right the entire Vaishnava traditions. So then after the Kali Yuga started, after 32 days only, this Nammalvar passed away. Then after that, in his disciple Parampara, one Yamunacharya is there. Yamunacharya, that Vigraha name is called, Bhavishyadacharya Vigraha, the Murti that has been given to them. That exactly this like a Murti only will separate the things. After 400 years, they could see the Dharma Glani, nobody is following the Vaishnavism and everything is ulta. Then they were looking for, who is that man, who is that great man, where he has born. Bhavishyadacharya Vigrahas, looking like a similar Vigraha, who is that great man is born. Somehow they find out there is a one person in the Dravida Desa, somewhere in Kanchipuram, that man, the great man is living, and in search of him they came there. Then the Yamunacharya came, there is one more Acharya, Yamunacharya came, and he met the Ramanujacharya. Then he was doing Abhisheka to the Varadaraj Perumal. Then how to take him, because he so much likes the Varadaraj Perumal, so he doesn't want actually to come away. Then by then also he was in thirst, because Kanchipurna said that I cannot show God. Now he has to search for another guru. Then the Yamunacharya came and said, you have to come to Sri Rangam. Then coming means, then he chanted, recited a mantra. Listening to that mantra, who has composed? He must be a realized soul. I must see him. Then immediately, then you come to me. Then he came along with the Yamunacharya to a place. There who is there? Mahapurna. The earlier one, Kanchipurna, he is Mahapurna. He is a realized master. Then immediately he was coming. When they came to a place called Madhurantakam. So Madhurantakam, when they came, then automatically what happened? Sri Rangam, is supposed to go to the Sri Rangam. When they came to the Madhurantakam, then just crossed, when he came to Sri Rangam, then suddenly we came to know that this Mahapurna passed away. And he felt very bad that, without seeing, Yamunacharya passed away. Before 5 minutes he met his guru. And he felt very bad, because with so much enthusiasm and the faith, I am going to see a person, who can show me the God. With that idea he came. Before seeing itself, he passed away. Then what to do? Because he is the person, you only the person to revive the Vaishnava traditions. That is what the Bhavishyavani Vigraha says, exactly resembles that Vigraham. The people came to know. Then by then he passed away. Then he felt very bad. Then he could see that, the Yamunacharya's fingers, 3 fingers are closed like this. So Ramanuja notices that. What is that indication that, 3 fingers he has closed? That means then he meditates on Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu reveals everything. No, you have come, you are the Acharya. You have come to revive this Vaishnava tradition. So now, the first, what is the 3 fingers? Why he has folded and died? Then in the meditation, he could get the revelations saying that, the first thing is that I need to write a Bhashya for the Brahma Sutras. Yes, I will do. Immediately the first finger is opened up. The second thing is that, I have to write the Narayana Divya Prabandham. Yes, I will do that. Immediately second finger is open up. The third thing is that, there are so many Guru Parampara, Vyasa, Parashara, Maharshi, all these people. I should write about them, people should know about these Acharyas, these great Rishis. So I will also write about them. All the 3 fingers are opened up. So that is what is mission. So immediately you start working it. But what did you do? Because though there is a Srirangam, he did not go to Ranganatha Swami temple inside it. He did not go. Because he could not see his Guru. He wanted to see his Guru, but just he passed away. That is the reason he got angry on Ranganatha Swami and he did not go to the temple at all. He came over to the Kanchipuram. Now, that place, where the Yamunacharya passed away, even now, when you go to the Srirangam, behind the main temple, if you go, in the bank of the Kaveri, there is a place called, Kaveri Kolladam. There Yamunacharya Samadhi also, now even it is there. Then there are difference of opinions. In every religion, there are difference of opinions we come across. Then they say that, these people, they say, though the people, they are following the Vaishnavism for many years, but narrow the religious ideals are not at all good for the people. But they only say that, the Vaishnavas are superior. Vaishnavas are only superior. Then Ramanuja says, see, it is not like that. Because why this idea came, this lady one day invited this Vaishya Guru. So after invitation, he came to take food to Ramanujacharya's house because he is a Vaishya. This lady did not allow him inside, and outside only she made him to sit and offered the food. So by then actually the Ramanujacharya was not in the house, and somehow she threw away all the food items, and this man did not say anything. Kanchipurna. Then after finishing his food, he went away. Then by then Ramanuja returned. So either Kanchipurna has come to take our food. Yeah, he has come. Then I told you, because he is a Vaishnava, I did not allow him inside. Then Ramanuja felt very bad. What is your understanding? And also there is another incident happened. One beggar came. So he says, beggar came, he is asking for the alms. Then this lady says, I have not cooked food. Then Ramanuja went and saw that already cooked food is available in the kitchen. Then why have told that you have not cooked? No, he is not a correct person, he is not the Brahmana, so I don't want to give. Then Ramanuja said, what you are doing is something wrong. See, it's not that the Vaishnava superior and the Shakta superior, it is not like that. The Vishnu means, what is the meaning? The Sarvavyapi. The Sarvavyapi is in the beggar, in me and in you also. You look at that Sarvavyapi who is residing in all the human beings as Antaratma and serve the people. That is what is understanding, because our narrow religious ideas will, give away some, we just such a way we treat the fellow human beings, because the lack of broadening ideas, lack of understanding. Because though we read the Vishnu Sahasranama every day, Vishwam Vishnu Vasatkaro and all. We don't understand who is a Vishnu. Vishnu means the Chaturbhuji who is having 4 arms. But what is that Shabd? Ardha Sahita. Ardha Sahita means Vishnu Sarvavyapi. That understanding must be there. Otherwise, we'll become narrow-minded people. Then again, because he did not visit the Srirangam because he could not meet his Guru, then now the Mahapurna, again another Purna, Kanchi Purna, another Purna, this is third Mahapurna. You wanted to accept him as a Guru. Because the thirst for realization, because he wanted to meet more and more people, who can show the path of, who can show the God. Then he went to Srirangam. On the way itself, he met the Mahapurna in the Madurantakam. And he said, come to the Srirangam, I will initiate you. Then he was initiated into the mantra. Even that place where they met, this Kanchi Purna, Mahapurna and the Ramanujacharya, it is there in the Madurantakam. There is a mandapam also is there. Even now it is there. Then he went to Srirangam. After he went to the Srirangam, the pujaris, the way they are performing the puja is, something absolutely nonsense. He did not like it. The Sriranga is a living entity there, and you people are serving him as, even when we go to the temples also, we see the pujaris touching the malas with their legs and offering and all, we also feel very bad. And the Ramanuja is, a clean person, a pure person, when he goes to the temple, the way the pujaris are performing the puja without the bhava, then he felt that is very bad. And he told that the way you are doing is not correct, you need to change. And they said that, we have been doing this puja, and, if somebody says, you are doing something wrong, you should have a clean mind to understand this. Otherwise, we don't accept our own mistakes. Even the Rani Rasmani came to Dakshineshwaram. Then Sri Ramakrishna, Rani Rasmani asked Sri Ramakrishna, you sing a song for me. And Sri Ramakrishna was singing a song in bhava, with the bhava. Then she was thinking about the court matters and all. Immediately, Sri Ramakrishna slapped her. Then, his attendants wanted to take revenge with Sri Ramakrishna. But this lady could realize, no, what I am doing is wrong. I am doing wrong. He is not wrong. In the same way, to realize our mistake also, you need to have some guts. That is why, though they are worshipping the God, right, day in and day out, in Sriranganatha they are worshipping. But, they don't want to accept their mistakes. No, we are doing, we are following this Shastra, Angama Shastra, some Shastra we are following, we are okay. Then Ramanuja thought it's something, I have to do something. Then he thought that unless I became a Dharmadikari, Dharmakarta, otherwise I cannot change them. So during that time, there is a Goshti Purna, there is a Kurattalvar. So he is a Dharmakarta. Now Kurattalvar is one of the disciples of Ramanuja. He went to Dharmakarta's house. Some Shraddha ceremony is going on. Shraddha ceremony means, after giving the food, then the one who has performed the Shraddha, Trupti Saha, you are satisfied, Abdi Kepanga. Then Truptosmi, I am satisfied, Abdi answer Varno. But this man, Dharmakarta, who is managing the temple, asked, Truptihi Saha? And he said, this Kurattalvar did not say anything. Then, do you need anything? Do you want some more food items? Then he did not say anything. Then, Trupti Saha, are you satisfied? No, he said. Then what you want? So, will you give what I want? Yes, I will give, because my mother should be happy wherever she is. Shraddha ceremony we only perform for that only, Pitru Devata. Then yes, you have to give the Dharmakarta post to the Ramanuja. Then since he gave a promise to this Kurattalvar, then immediately Ramanuja became Dharmakarta of this temple. Then the worship, the offerings and the perfectly going on. Then still, see that so much ordeal, the spiritual life, though you are you have read so many Shastras, and if you are not realized the anguish The vyakulata, the longing, kills the person actually. So when you have a deep longing for God, even Sri Ramakrishna's life, when you look at it, so every evening, one day is Brahmamayi Galo Madhun Deka Toinahidile. Oh Brahmamayi, one more day has been passed away. I have not seen you. He used to roll on the ground and profusely, the blood is oozing from her nose and all. People used to think, probably his mother passed away. That is the longing. Still it is there in the mind. Who will initiate me into the mantra so that holding on to the mantra, I can realize God. Then somebody said there is a person, he'll be able to explain that secrets of the Tirumantra. That man is called the Goshti Purna. This is a famous incident, we know that. So he went there and I wanted the secret of the Tirumantra. In the Vaishnava tradition, there are three mantras are there. Tirumantram, Dvayamantram, Charmashlokam appadi solluvaanga. Tirumantram anna Om Namo Narayanaya. Then the Dvayamantram anna Srimannarayana Charane Sharanam Prapadye Srimate Narayanete Namaha. The Charmashloka is the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharmanu Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. This is these three mantras. So these three mantras, all the Vaishnavas, they are initiated into these three mantras. Of course, a lot of meaning is there, not only just by repeating the mantra. Then, this Tiruvalvar initiated him to this Narayana mantra, Ashtakshari mantra, then told the meaning also. If you repeat this mantra, then you will get the moksha. Then, actually he did not simply, the first visit itself, the Goshti Purna did not teach the secret of this mantra. The Ramanuja went 17 times. That shows that, how much interest, how much you are longing for God. So, for example, inge varumbodhu மந்திரத்துக்கு எப்போ கொடுப்பாங்கன்னு கேட்பாங்க. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு இல்லை, நாளைக்கு இல்லை, அடுத்த மாதம் தான்னா அவ்வளோதான், முடிஞ்சு போயிடுச்சு. ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் வரமாட்டார். ஸோ ஹியர் 17 times this man went there. The 17th time. So yes, now you are the right person, you have a lot of interest and enthusiasm to realize God. Okay, come. So I will teach you. So he taught the Tirumantram. Then by repeating this mantra, you will realize God. That's all. Then once he came out, there many people are waiting. Sir, the Goshti Purna, did he teach you the mantra? Then yes. Sir, why can't you teach us? Then he said, already Goshti Purna cautioned him that, you should not teach to anyone. If you pronounce this mantra to anyone, you will go to the Naraka. The once he came out, the people, there are so many suffering people, to realize God, they are just waiting. Because there in samsara kadali is so difficult. Even if they got the mantra, they wanted to realize God. Then slowly, people, yes, okay, all right, you need not to worry about it. I will teach you, I will pronounce you the mantra. Then he climbed up the temple and said, this is what the mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya. Then everybody learned that mantra, they started repeating. You can understand the atmosphere there, how the atmosphere was there. Suddenly the Goshti Purna came to know about it and came down. I told you that, if you pronounce this mantra to anyone, you will go to the hell. Then he said, the thousands of people, they go to the Moksha Samrajya. Even if I go to the Naraka, and I don't have any issue at all. Let me go to Naraka. That is what the compassion the Acharyas expresses. Then now I am halfway through, already 8:10, I did not notice the time now. So what is the main teachings of this Ramanujacharya? So he only taught the Prapatti Marga, because I cannot say the Aham Brahmasmi, I am the Brahman, I cannot say, because I have my own weaknesses, I cannot say that, a Jiva can never be one with the Brahma, Paramatma. Only you can be a Amsha, you can be one Amsha. Then that can happen only the Prapatti Marga, Sharanagati. Not that, you become one with the God. So you will become one with the God, but your identity will remain in him, in the Paramatman only, that is what. And he says, there is a samanvaya between karma, jnana, bhakti. He says, Nishkama Kainkarya Rupa Karma keeps one active and away from sin and impure. This is what that comes from the puja, all these things only. Nishkama Kainkarya Rupa Karma. Not that, different activities he doesn't like. Not accumulating punya also, he did not accept it actually. The Lord is mean and the end also. For everybody also. The Lord is only someone substratum for everybody. So communion with him is a service for his pleasure, and that is that of his devotees. Serving the devotees and the serving the Lord, both are one and the same. And the Brahman without the attributeless, they don't accept it. So they only accepted Savishesha Brahma only. So we say, according to Advaita Vedanta, we call it, Brahman, avarku roopam ille, gunam ille, edime ille and solvanga. But Ramanujacharya philosophy, they don't accept it. They only accept Savishesha Brahman only. So the Lord Narayana is the only ruler. So this is the Lord of the universe. The Jiva is the servant and worshipper. The Jiva can never become one with the Paramatma. He is only the worshipper only. Complete surrender to him is the only way. That is the only thing. That is what the Prapatti Marga only Ramanuja told. So of course it is easy for us repeating the God's name and surrendering oneself to the God is the only thing, easy Marga. That's what Sri Ramakrishna also says. But we all must remember that the devotees of the Sri Ramakrishna is we are all Advaitins. And again, I am not just wrong way, I am not telling you that still now you have said that the Prapatti Marga and qualified Visishta Advaita and all, now you are saying Advaita, but there is a twist here. We are all Advaitins. We follow the Bhakti Marga. We wanted to one with the Godhood. That is what the difference. We are the Advaitins. We follow the Bhakti Marga. Our goal is to one with the Godhood. That we have to remember. So with this I conclude. If you want to know more about Ramanujacharya, because that is how we enjoy. Sri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tushyanti Ramanticha. So devotees of the God, talks about acharyas and the devotees, they enjoy. So further you can read. So this is what. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.